Recently in the sim racing community, iRacing decided to add its very own street course, a fictional street course in the city of Chicago. Now, granted, this is only fictional now, but with the abundance of road courses appearing on the Cup Series schedule and really the top 3 NASCAR series in general, the idea of turning this street course into a reality is very much a possibility. Street courses have been a fixture in motorsports for quite some time, especially in the world of IndyCar and Formula 1. But for NASCAR, it's had a bit of a complicated history. The Pinty Series in Canada is the only sanctioned NASCAR series right now to even run on street courses, but back in the 80s, NASCAR nearly made a whole type of car just for them. Unfortunately, this car wouldn't make it past the testing stage, and with the huge influx of money NASCAR had coming to them in the 90s, they could finally build tracks in those markets they were trying to bring street courses to. The full video about this car is down in the description below, but the point here is street coursing for NASCAR was abandoned for quite some time, until we got to the late 90s.
Live from Exposition Park, NBC4 presents the 4th running of the Ford LA Street Race.
Yes, that's right. NASCAR in the late 90s once had its very own street course located right by the LA Coliseum. It was supposed to be a tremendous spectacle. NASCAR competition on the streets of the nation's second largest city. The Los Angeles street race lasted only 3 years and quickly faded into forgotten obscurity. The question is, why wasn't it successful? After years of planning, the Los Angeles street race was organized by Bill Burke, a man who organized the Los Angeles Marathon. The very first version of the event began on Labor Day weekend in 1997 as a series of vintage races. Looking to grow even bigger in 1998, Burke was able to schedule a NASCAR race for the event. Unfortunately, it wasn't the top 3 series, but the next best thing, the Featherlight Southwest Tour Series. The first race attracted a ton of star drivers. Cup Series regulars Mark Martin, Kenny Schrader, and Chad Little flew across the country after competing in the Southern 500 the day before. Road course stars Boris Ed and Willie T. Ribbs showed up, and future Cup Series superstars in Kurt Busch and Kevin Harvick also competed. Despite all of the star power, the Southwest Tour Series showed that it had some star power of its own. Series regular Steve Portega won the inaugural LA street race. The race returned in 1999, but this time with a redesigned track so people wouldn't be blocked from getting to the nearby museums. The LA Times called the second event a straight-up demolition derby, as 11 cautions slowed the race to an average speed of just under 47 miles per hour. Kenny Schrader and the late Kenny Irwin Jr. competed in the second LA street race, as well as future Cup Series star Kevin Harvick. Unfortunately, he ran into problems late in the going. Series regular AJ Allsup led 68 laps and won the event. It was reported that the second event had much fewer spectators than the first. Perhaps for this reason, the race was moved all the way from Labor Day weekend to mid-July for 2000. There's only one broadcast of this entire street race's history, and it happens to be the last one. NBC affiliate Channel 4 decided to broadcast the race in 2000 and actually poached some of MRN's talent they had at the time. I couldn't find out if the first and second races were on TV as well, so if you know, please let me know down in the comments below. Just like the race a year prior, the third race had a totally different road course layout. Upon making this edition of Racing Reference Stories, I had to review this race from start to finish, and let me say this, and this is without any sort of exaggeration. The 2000 LA street race has to be one of the worst, if not the worst street race, not just in NASCAR period, but for motorsports in general.
This is where they get their start in the Featherlight Southwest Series, a series that began back in 1986.
And they have waved off the start.
Yes, they have. We're going to go green this time around, but the pace truck, as you can see, is still on there.
Flag on the top of the starter stand, giving the indication 1 to go. They have found some debris out on the course, and right now the officials have gone to retrieve that. Debris spotted in turn 1.
There you see the yellow.
NASCAR officials calling in and reporting that.
There it is. And it looks like some body work there.
Yeah.
Back to the downtown streets of Los Angeles for the Ford LA street race. And you see there a broken race car. That is 27-year-old Clint Curry out of Fresno, California. You see some course workers there. That is exactly where Clint made contact with the wall.
And he just looks like he cut turn 1 too quick.
The one there is the 65 car of Jeff Hill. 35 years old, out of Hanford, California. There you see him. He has suddenly lost power.
Oh, yeah, sure. There's also been debris spotted in turn 7. No doubt one of the factors in this caution flag, as 2 cars have come to rest out on the course. John Zaretsky comes into turn 1, and this has been the trouble spot all weekend. He'll slide wide and into the tire barrier. And that's not good.
And he keeps going.
Keeps going, yes. And then is black flagged for smoking, as this is a non-smoking street course.
There's some debris there on the track. He caught it before he looped it. And that's Scott Lynch, who is laying across the track there at turn 2. Hopefully everybody can get by. Eric Holmes ducks to the inside. So too does Craig Rodman. M.K. Kanky gets through.
Talk about a sitting duck.
Looks like he has stalled it there and cannot refire. Let's take a look here at Pursley chasing down Englebright.
Oh, and a little shot in the caboose there.
Rubin is racing. There you see the car of Vic Rice. He has found the tire barrier. And I believe that's at the end of Coliseum Drive. No, it's through the switchbacks here.
That is here at turn 8.
Oh, we've had a problem. Is that in the pits?
Yes, that is on the pit lane.
Jeff Hill and Bob Lyon have collided in the pits. Well, let's get this straight. Let's get an update from the pit reporters first. There you see it.
To put it in perspective on how bad the racing has been so far, we're not even past the halfway point yet, nor are we even that close to it. Jim Englebright's number 20 Jelly Belly entry was without a doubt the most dominant car all day, but even the leaders in this race couldn't run out of trouble. During one of the many caution laps while he was on pit road, Jim's right front tire began bursting into flames. He had to get out and ultimately had to DNF. With Englebright out of the race, it was once again wide open. The 63 of Eric Holmes and the 2 of Craig Rudderman were battling for the lead up until, once again, another caution flew. Not just for the incident involving the 59, but also for an actual, well, K9.
Is that Craig Rodman?
And thanks to Bob Petty, we have a K9 on the track. That's right.
Not sure if he's a team mascot.
Actually, I don't think he passed NASCAR technical inspection. He's being recalled back to the garage, and he could find our way into the production trailer.
All right. So while we get the pace truck and the dog catchers out here at the Ford LA Street Race, we will take a break.
Once the race got back underway, the 2 was able to maneuver right past the 63 for the race lead. He kept the lead, but unfortunately mostly under caution laps, as the cautions kept on coming for more bizarre reasons.
Look at the right front tire coming off on the Boris said machine.
And Boris lost the right front tire coming to this caution flag.
But in the end, nobody could compete with Craig Rudderman and his 2 Monte Carlo entry. He would go on to win the LA Street Race of 2000, breaking a winless drought in the Southwest Featherlight Tour.
Craig Rodman has not won a Featherlight race since Sears Point in 1997. He comes off of turn 8. He is unchallenged for the lead. Craig Rodman has his 7th career win. He is king of the streets of Los Angeles and wins the Ford LA Street Race.
Once again, the LA Times called the 2000 race a demolition derby. 12 cautions for 49 laps slowed the race to an astounding 46 miles per hour in average speed. Crashes, stalled cars, pit fires, and even a dog on the track stretched out the action. Unfortunately, by the end of 2000, people began to lose interest in a Los Angeles event and the idea of NASCAR racers reportedly crashing on tight street courses. Ford pulled their title sponsorship and the event didn't have the money to continue. Fast forward just over 20 years later, and the idea of NASCAR and street courses is starting to become a real thing again. Perhaps this race could have been bigger and way better if the top 3 series of NASCAR raced on it instead of the Southwest Featherlight Tour series, but in this era, NASCAR was more focused on bringing the money and the fans to their facilities, especially the new ones they built. Fast forward to 2021, and the idea of the Cup Series racing in the streets of LA once again is very much a possibility. And once again, that'll do it for another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time.